Oh no. Hi. So I was enjoying a nice meal watching some videos on YouTube, enjoying some sunlight and relaxing, then found this curious game on my recommended, called Limbus Company, which looked really cool, but then I realized, this company logo looks similar to something I played before. I wonder what it is, then I regretfully realized, didn't I forget about something? That's when I recalled I never completed a certain game that I have a love-hate relationship. That's right. Lobotomy Corporation, a game I promised myself I would finish but left it to collect dust because of reasons. And you may ask, what the hell is Lobotomy Corporation? Well Timmy, Lobotomy Corporation is managing an SCP facility, but you beat the shit out of entities and use them for energy production. Sounds fun and simple, right? Let me list the advantages of playing this game. You manage an SCP facility. Let me list the disadvantages. You manage an SCP facility. Now before you decide to crucify me PM fans, about me calling Lobotomy Corporation an SCP game. Yes, I know they are called abnormalities, and yes, it is nothing related to SCP, and good thing it is, because I got captivated by its lore to the point I reached in-game. As I mentioned earlier, I played this game before, not completely new to me, and even did some core suppressions and boss abnos, with cheese of course. But then one fateful day I asked, what happens if I fuck around? And as the saying goes, find out, so everything that could go possibly wrong went wrong, and my elite squad got goodbyed. Then in my infinite wisdom I pressed repository day instead of retry day and lost everything. Took that personally, set my computer on fire, left the game in the deepest parts of my basement, never to be seen again. Until today that I remember its existence. So I decided to finally complete this game no matter how many hours of my life will be lost in the process. I am 100%ing this thing, and also with no cheese and deathless if I think it is possible, to make it as much of a torture device as possible. But wait, why would you play something that tortures you? And to that I answer, I don't know. Either way, join me in this adventure and let's discover why they call it the Lobotomy Corp, because I'm ready to forfeit my brain for this. Will they realize that hiring me was a mistake? We decide to begin day 1, and we are greeted by the totally trustworthy, not sinister, greatest AI, Angela. She will be our companion, right hand, and guide through our journey as manager Lobotomy Corporation. Such a prestigious title, I know. Sad thing they haven't realized I lied in my resume. Good thing she can only support us and not question our actions. I told you, Steve, who needs a psychologist when you can get ChatGPT as your girlfriend. Following that we get to meet our first department, the basis of it all, the control team department, characterized by yellow color around its infrastructure as well as its employees being kinda cocky from time to time. Be gone, fuck! And no wonder why, they have the control after all. And now, who's in charge of such an important role inside this facility? The department leader of sorts. Well, our second character of the story, another AI, her name? Mokoth. Now, where do we begin with her? She's really something when talking about being rigorous about control. She really doesn't like things going out of hand. I wonder if trauma is involved. Either way, she is a very friendly person, eager to cooperate with us, and then we get interrupted by an employee, showing the true colors of the corporate setting. These people really don't care about their employees, like our buddy here knocking the door begging for mercy and freedom, and we get the decision to either us handling it or her. In my case, I let her deal with her employee. That's when the knocking is even worse. He didn't like the decision. And with that short introduction to our roles as a manager and the leader of our first department, we begin what we do best, managing abnormalities. We meet our first employee. Say hi to McKenna, who, I hope, will last long to go through this entire journey, and doesn't suffer any gruesome death, I hope. We set everything up, use our lob points, and we officially begin managing our first day. Now at the beginning of each day, we get a new abno, of a free selection of 3, except for day 1, which we only have one choice, and for good reasons. Oh boy, the best buddy of them, the one and only one sin and hundreds of good deeds, my beloved skull emoji. If this game was created in our semi-current context, although kinda outdated, it would be literally compared to the chill dog meme. I hate that meme. Either way. What doesn't it do right? First, he is a Zayan, the least threatening. Max output of 10, for a good result you need 8 plus PE boxes, neutral 4 to 7 boxes, and for a bad you require the excruciating effort of 0 to 3 boxes, and with good reason. If you get a good result with him, you get the price of healing your SP. Do a perfect job, the department gets healed. This guy is impossible to mishandle, vibes with attachment and insight. Doesn't care for repression and instinct. The skull emoji cannot hate you unless you hate him first, which is deserved. And lastly, ego. Cool stuff for early game. Pretty much the best Zayan gear, it can heal SP. So yeah, after all of that, is there a reason not to love this guy? What? Legacy version? What is a legacy? Oh. It does that, yikes. Well, I guess it will smite you if you lie to him, but that's irrelevant as there is no way in game to lie to him. We reach quota, get ego, and end the day. I really wonder what these options give. We move on and make our first actual choice of abnormalities. Between these 3 guys, a day we must never forget, a never-ending curse, or somebody wondering why people commit sins. I want something fitting the theme of our skull guy, so I chose my third option. We get to talk to Angela again, opening with the motto of the corporation, face the fear, build the future, questioning us what we prefer. I myself building the future, although whatever choice you talk, Angela will agree. Either way, Angela just remarks the importance of our corporation in the world. While it sounds redundant overall, with this slight conversation the game gives us the message that stuff will go wrong, but we shouldn't fear it, confront it, and ensure the future you want. Hey, that's the motto right there. We head back to the control team area where Angela mentions what happened to the employee. She mentions that they resigned. Why is it quoted? Well, Angela explains an analogy of a theater and that his role was terminated. Yeah. She means execution in friendly terms. Following that, Maka thanks us for helping her out with the task. I forgot to mention, each department gives us some objectives which give us upgrades for the facility as well as progress through their stories. Then she mentions about abnos, how important is to be in control, something she doesn't have when facing something that appears in the facility, when she isn't in control. She starts to elaborate a weird feeling, something she isn't capable of explaining, something that only can be felt when losing control. Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, something ain't right with this girl. Done with the dialogue part, we move to the next thing. We pick our first upgrade being the TT2 protocols, cause holy, 2x speed is amazing, especially when my attention span is no longer than 1 minute. We move on and start our day, with a friend of McKenna, Evgeny. Sure, both will enjoy hell and meat. This fella, what can I say, it is not a bad choice, just kinda possessive and annoying. Why do I say that? The punishing bird is a very chill guy, he doesn't really care that much for each result. Do inside, however, he loves that. He will be my first challenge in the damage area since he does red, which is one of the 4 types. Red is pain and death, white makes you go insane. Black is red and white, annoying early game, and pale. You'll see it later on. So when I mentioned he is possessive, he really is. No work on him equals mad. 4 strikes and he is out. And remember, do not the Birb. Why? It looks weak, fragile, and come on, is just a bird, right? Yeah. 999 red damage ain't looking healthy after all, huh? So what do? Let it unleash its anger through pecking. That's right, McKenna, you have not been forgiven for committing tax evasion. Also, pro tip, if an ego weapon can hit multiple targets, do not use it to suppress an abnormality with the bird in the same room, it will get angry and cast instant nugget deletion trademark. Also, its ego is okay. Long range attacks and early justice buff, really cool.
This was easier than expected.
We begin anew with the same 3 choices. Descriptions are seagulls and beach sounds, a flying note, and somebody is shy. I honestly didn't get any interest in any. A beach could be something, however I preferred the more abstract option. A flying note, what is it gonna do? Forte me to death? And about the shy guy, last time I met a shy guy, it didn't like me looking at its face, man really took it personal. Why do I hear screaming sounds? So we choose the note and hear for the 3rd time Angela talking about 3 and how it is related to wishing. An example is the genie in the lamp. Of course we've heard that so many times, but in life it is important to wish, if not what objectives to achieve, right? Now Angela asks us as the character of the game, what do we want to achieve with the company, and it is money, that's right, I'm only here to fulfill that capitalist dream. Moral compass. Who needs that when you have cheap labor? Outside of jokes, keep wishing, and if you think you are capable, you will achieve it. Of course we need to be realistic, but that's why we select those. So be responsible with what you wish, cause we don't truly know the depth of our actions. Moving on, we get more trauma dumped by Maka, and ma'am, have you heard the concept of a psychologist? She really is searching for approval from us, and is something worrying, you shouldn't be this dependent. Following that, Angela intervenes and orders her to do something else, and then proceeds to roast everyone, saying pretty much that nobody has the perfection of her. Thanks. I guess? Anyways, back to managing stuff, and we get upgrades, which I don't care much about, and we start the day once more and discover that, what the hell is that? A fuzzy spider? My expectations out the window again, wondering what were the other 2 then? Time to present this thing. Fragment of the universe, it is something that likes socializing, is okay with torture and hates being treated well? Weirdo. And for early game, it is quite high demand. What's your cloth? 2 and what's your requirements? 50% chance to get angry with neutrals? Well, surely it won't breach, that would be crazy, I mean. So we officially have our first breach, how nice. Like a baby having its first steps. So for that we gotta use escape information this time, and I guess equipping everyone with the Glocks wasn't a good idea, and to make situations worse, the HP and SP cannot be seen unless I see the work selection GUI. And I want to admit it wasn't hard, but I almost blundered. Especially when they are as strong as wet cardboard. By the way, it's not even the highest danger classification. We will be having worse terrors than this. This will be fun. Let's hope that doesn't repeat. Oh, Clovoth is going down, and I'm almost done with getting all the stuff. Surely my employee can get down there before it melts down, surely. Nothing wrong will happen. McKenna. Run a bit faster. I know you are almost there. Please. There goes all my quota and another containment breach. So we beat the shit out of the spider again. And without any more altercations, we end the day.
We're at no.
One more for the collection. This time we have a melody. Last time I chose one, it breached. Somebody that wants to save others. That was a really good option, but satisfaction, now we talking. I hope it really is something cool, can't wait. Oh yeah, about the dialogue part. Angela keeps congratulating us for our dedication, our leaderships, our handsomeness. Okay, that last part was me portraying. But we have done such a good job so far, even giving better results than the previous manager. She wants to celebrate with us with some champagne, how sweet, but first we are taught how to drink it properly. Thanks for the tutorial, I suppose. I wonder if there is a way to drink water properly. Uneventful, but Makath however. She's getting bullied by two other Sephiroth from information and another department we will see later, both complaining about the insanity rate of its employees and how dangerous it is. There is so much stuff going wrong with this girl, just give her a break and pay her a psychologist. I'm feeling bad for her. And after that whole roast they mentioned something called ordeals. What the hell is that? A monster? And what is a dusk ordeal? Oh boy, I hope it is not something dangerous. Not my problem right now though. Back to directing our agents. And let's see, where is my Avno? Is that mirror an Avno? That's right, so every fourth day a tool Avno will be delivered. Now the effectiveness and use of each varies, but 90% of them are usually useless, and will for certain kill or destroy your facility if you are not careful. Most of them, because this mirror has a different property, and it messes around with your employee stats. But let's see, mirror of adjustment, randomizes stats and decreases them after multiple uses. Oh, and don't forget they also get affected by meltdown, so enjoy that free stat loss, you idiot. Fun fact about the mirror, your original employee is now stuck in an alternate reality. So live with the guilt as well. After that incident we ended the day smoothly without any problem. Yes, this is the manager. The Clovoth counter? I mean, what's wrong? Oh my god. Of course it happened. So the spider decided to breach once and we had to beat the shit out of it back into containment, again. This stupid spider never gets tired of making me fail the 50-50 rolls. Bruh. Now officially nothing else happened. Got that quota up and moved to the last day. Jumping straight into the dialogues, as in all 5th days there is no new abnormality. I mean, you can tell the department is on max capacity on day 4. So we don't get any new problems to handle, and usually 5th days aren't that eventful. In fact, this day was so boring that I realized while rewatching the footage the motto of the company was wrong both in the loading screen and the dialogue screen. Back to topic. Angela straight up just tells that this corporation was built through sacrifices. Something. Yeah. We have seen pretty clearly so far. By the way, did I mention the corpses don't despawn until the day ends? Angela cuts directly to the point of how stuff has been around my life. And not bad so far, but it is understandable that not anyone feels like so. She then explains that there is always room for improvement, and starts to explain a metaphor. For a tree to grow it requires fertile soil, water, and sunlight. If it doesn't, then it is bound to die. Otherwise it will grow and bear fruit. What Angela wants out of us is to search for those resources to grow. Better to fight than give up in the struggle. And Makath disappeared. As for managing the day, we just do our usual stuff, and without any new abnormalities, we just grind, and grind, and grind, and, what's that? A neutral result on fragment. Surely it won't decrease the cloth counter. Well, still surely not another neutral. It will decrease the cloth, won't it?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
And the spider escapes for the 4th time and almost makes my employee go crazy. You know the drill anyways, beat the heck out of it until it goes back into containment. We successfully reached the quota and no breaches happened. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The first 5 days have been completed and it took a long while. So it will be a long ride to that day 50, and we are just getting started. So far I didn't remember this game this slow, although probably made that onto myself on purpose, because I'm making sure my employees have good stats instead of speed running the days like it usually goes in the first actual playthroughs. There is a lot I need to remember, and looking again at it, it really is like a new experience, just with some basic knowledge, and is really something I wanted to feel again. Overall, I really despise these early days. They lame and slow, and nothing exciteful happens, except for discovering new abnormalities, but this is still the early game, and I know that worse fears are about to come. So we just need to be patient. Talking about the abnormalities. I love the original concepts of each. However, that spider is annoying. Like, dude, can you not breach with 2 neutrals in a row? But still though, very cool. So yeah, without more to say or do, I shall wait for you in the next 5 days here at me making questionable decisions to manage eldritch horrors.